What's happening, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name's Owee, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Game of Thrones news that just emerged regarding the prequel series starring Naomi Watts. Not sure what it's called, what it was going to be called, and I guess it doesn't matter because the prequel just got canceled. Yes, I guess they filmed a pilot and producers or whoever tests the pilot said it wasn't good enough and they just scrapped it. And oh boy, that is big news, especially from a big Game of Thrones nerd like myself. I mean, look at me, I was rocking a Kingslayer shirt at the goddamn gym. Shout out to Jamie fucking Lannister. Yeah, Game of Thrones, one of my favorite series. Now, I'm going to divert from the news for a second and just let you know how big of a Game of Thrones fan I am. I mean, for God's sake, I even traveled all the way to Dubrovnik, Croatia, where they filmed the majority of the King Landing scenes, and I took a Game of Thrones tour. That's how much of a fan I was. Yeah, season, to season 8, I cry at night sometimes still thinking about how D&D botched the season 8. My friends made fun of me when we were watching it live because I would defend each episode and try to make logic of what they were doing. And God bless you if you enjoyed season 8 and how it ended. I thought I was one of those people, but you know how I know I didn't like season 8? Because I haven't watched it since, and I've seen every episode of Game of Thrones at least 3 times. And I have no desire at this point to even go back and watch season 8, at least not yet. But yeah, talk about dropping the ball for one of the best franchises ever made. But they're dropping the ball even more. They're Forrest Gumping it and they're running straight out the goddamn arena. Let's see here. So they canceled the pilot with Naomi Watts, and that was going to be about the White Walkers or whatnot, 1,000 years before the current Game of Thrones series. Considering how the Night King died, no one really cared. It was such an underwhelming death for one of the most built-up, frightening villains in a series, and he just, he dies to a dragon glass blade. Lame. Never even got a 1v1 versus Jon Snow. I think we know why. Jon Snow would have waxed that ass. I mean, Arya's awesome, but, he got snuck up on. Weak sauce. But yeah, they canceled the Game of Thrones prequel regarding, the Night King and all that, but they're moving ahead with the House of the Dragon, which will be, obviously more centered around the Targaryen dynasty, which is awesome. That I'd way rather see that than the White Walker storyline because it was so underwhelming and so disappointing. But yeah, I would rather see the Targaryen dynasty, fire and blood, baby. Because those, I read the first 2 books, but after that I stopped. So forgive me if I get a few facts wrongs for all you hardcore fans out there. I'm just a show fan. Yeah, you got great stories coming from the Targaryen house. You got Aegon's conquest when he took over Westeros. You got the Dance of Dragons, which, the whole conflict within the whole Lannisters. You got the Blackfire Rebellion. You got the whole story of how the Dragon Pit burnt down. I mean, you got so many things you could do with Targaryens. So I'm not sure what story they're going to do with the House of the Dragon. But yeah, that's the series I would rather see. But regarding the cancellation of the prequel, I'm fearing for Game of Thrones, man. I'm fearing for it. I mean, you got these money-hungry producers with no passions. They're just trying to cash in on this franchise with no direction whatsoever. D&D, the original showrunners of Game of Thrones, they half-assed season 8 to move on to Star Wars. And what happened to them? They quit Star Wars. So what was the point? If you were mad about season 8 before, you have even more reason to be mad about it now. Because those 2 jabronis, what are they doing? They got fired, they quit. I don't care. Those guys suck. To put it simply. Yeah, Game of Thrones. I'm hoping someone could take charge, like a Kevin Feige on Marvel, because Game of Thrones is such a great franchise. There's so much you could do with it: movies, shows, video games. Just the world is so rich, and George R. Martin created such a rich lore to it. The history, the backstory, the characters, it's amazing. And the fact that it ended on such a sour note with season 8, and they're canceling this prequel, but they're go ahead and they're moving ahead with the Targaryen storyline. And I think fans want to see more of the history of families and houses that we already know and already been established in Game of Thrones. So yeah, let's hope they get it right. I don't know who's gonna be the showrunners for the House of the Dragon. Hopefully, someone with some goddamn sense and passion for Game of Thrones, because I don't want them to take the route of the new Star Wars trilogy. Say what you will if you like it. It made money, it made millions. Of course, it's Star Wars, but it's evident that Kathleen Kennedy over at Star Wars and all her directors were playing hot potato with the script and the story for the new trilogy. It's so obvious. They're firing directors left and right, firing writers, letting go of writers. Doing a whole bunch of reshoots for all their movies. Yeah, these producers these days, it's like they're not in touch with what fans want. And, rich producers, what else is new? But, at least let's take it back to the MCU. Just do what they're doing. Look at the passion behind their work. Look at what Kevin Feige's doing. Copy that. Is there no one with common sense on Star Wars side, on Game of Thrones? Anyways, that's my rant for today. I wasn't going to post a new video or react to anything today, at least not later today, but I got this new mic. So I had to put it to good use. I spent money on the goddamn thing, so you're damn right I'm going to use it. But yeah, that's my rant for today. I kind of haven't skimmed through all the information, so forgive me if I get some facts wrong. I just had to go on a rant for the love of Game of Thrones that I have and what they're doing to it and what direction it might be heading down. Because it is such a great franchise. I want to see more of the world. I know everyone wants to see more of the world it has to offer. But please, for the love of God, get it right. So yeah, that's my rant today. Maybe I'll post reaction videos later. I know there's a few video game videos that are out there that I want to check out. But yeah, tell me what you think. What do you think about the new show getting canceled starring Naomi Watts? She would have been perfect for the Game of Thrones world, so I hope they recast her in some form or whatever. She looks like a Targaryen, so maybe they'll get her in House of the Dragons, because that's a waste of talent for Naomi Watts. But yeah, are you excited for House of the Dragon? What Targaryen storyline would you like to see House of the Dragon be focused on? And what other, lore or history stories in the Game of Thrones world would you like to see created and put into an entertainment platform, whether it be video games, shows, or movies? Let me know what you guys think. So that's the video, guys. If you liked it, hit subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember, what is dead may never die.